Staring right at 2080, as if mankind's atrocities for man has no history. No chance of world salvation unless the conversations be.
Yes, Manchester. You're locked into Peace FM 90.1 on your dial. And I'm Gocc bringing you the search engine tonight. I have a guest in my studio. Guest, blessed love. You can hear me, sound check. Can you hear me? You can come closer to the mic, please. Hold on, make sure. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, man, I hear you, man.
Yeah, man.
Alright, just tell Manchester what your name. Just your name and thing. Just for the minute. Just introduce yourself to Manchester.
You know, I'm a Jamaican. Basically, my name is Omar, and I'm also a Muslim. Yeah, so just come here tonight, you know, with the will of God, just kind of like, you know, just enlighten people a bit. You know what I mean?
What's your name? Omar, your name, right?
Omar, yeah, man.
Omar, alright, I'm gonna ask you for the two things. Talk up a little bit closer, come closer to the mic, you're a bit low.
Alright.
Alright?
You can hear me now?
Yeah, man, I hear you, but
Yeah,
it
man.
still sound a bit low still, but we're gonna work with it a little bit. Alright,
so
alright. Hold on, before we even, before we even go into it, I just make sure it's everything right. But I want to play a few tracks before we actually start the talking, you understand? So, today Manchester, hold on, let me see if I can get Brother Rakar in inside of the conversation. Hold on, Brother Rakar, you there?
Yes, brother, I'm here. Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, man, loud and clear. Can you hear Brother Rakar over there? Hold on, can you hear him?
Yeah, man.
Listen, I want to read some information I'm gonna get last night, yeah? In regards to the we see birds falling out the sky and all sorts of things happening on the earth right now. And what I'm trying to tell us is that it's an isolated incident, like it just happening in the US, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is right now, it's happening all over the earth. Right now, some things happening around the earth. And hold on, let me start that properly, but don't want to be too abrupt with it. I want you to listen to them figures here, Brother Rakar, yeah?
Yes.
Have a listen to these figures and tell me what you think on them. And I'm going to ask the guests over there as well. Sorry, Omar, you can hear me, right? I'm going to ask Omar for comment on these as well. Listen to this. It says, listen, several hundred birds fell from the sky in Texas. Yeah? Thousands of dead birds fell from the sky in central Arkansas. 500 dead birds fell from the sky in Louisiana. Hundreds more dead birds fell from the sky in Kentucky. 2 million dead fish washed ashore at the Chesapeake Bay area. 100,000 fish lie dead in the Arkansas River, covering 20 linear miles. 100,000 fish lie dead. So sorry, sorry, people. I'm reading it off my phone. Sorry, so this might be a bit jumbled. Let me read that again. It says 100,000 fish lie dead in the Arkansas River, covering 20 linear miles. 99% of the fish are only one kind called drumfish. Yeah. 100 tons of fish dead in waters of Parana, Argentina. Tens of thousands of dead birds fell to the ground in Manitoba, Canada. 40,000 crabs were washed ashore in the UK on January the 6th. 10,000 antelope lie dead in Kazakhstan. These 10,000 represent a quarter of the total global population of this animal. The bees are dying out in unprecedented numbers. On Fox News, it spoke of 8,000 doves that fell over the skies in Italy and all had strange blue markings on their beak. In Sweden, 100 birds fell dead from the sky. Jackdaws, crows, that's what the name. We're having earthquakes all over as well. On the 2nd of December, a 6.9 earthquake in New Guinea. On December the 17th, a 7.2 earthquake on the border of Mexico. On December the 20th, 5.6 earthquake in El Salvador. On December the 21st, a 6.2 earthquake in Sumatra. On December the 21st again also, a 7.4 earthquake in Japan. On December 25th, a 7.6 earthquake in Fiji. On January the 5th, a 6.6 earthquake in Vanuatu in the South Pacific. 10 minutes later, there was another earthquake that registered 5.5. On January the 2nd, 7.2 earthquake in Chile. On January the 18th, a 7.2 earthquake in southwestern Pakistan. That was last night, if anybody missed that on the news, right? Now, a whole heap of earthquakes. You understand? And I could probably read a scripture about it, taken from the Bible. But Brother Raka, I'm gonna leave that for you to read. Yeah, I think you know the scripture I'm talking about.
Yes, well, absolutely, brother.
Second Ezra 9.
When it's time, I will go through the scriptures
Right.
to show you that what's happening is apocalyptic,
Yeah.
and it's time for the children of Israel all over the earth to all the people all over the earth to take heed to the time we're in, to understand where we are in Bible prophecy.
Yeah, man. All right then. Omar. Rav Omar in the studio now. Omar, you hear all of that, right? I'm gonna just read a while ago. Yeah? So, Omar, what's your take on that now?
Well, the thing is, the Creator also said that in the Quran, that He has given the responsibility of the earth to be run by men, and men has corrupt the land and the seas. So meaning that many of these things that you've seen is because of the injustice that men actually doing in the earth. Would that be of whatever race, whatever color, whatever nation, and you've seen so many bloodshed, so many chemical weapons, and so many things. So what you see is actually going on is actually doing of man, because man disobeyed to run the earth in the way which God has given the law and the prescribed way of running the earth.
Brother Akai, did you get that?
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah?
And what he's saying is pretty much it tips the iceberg, but we need to identify who's doing what. Like, for instance, there's no the poor people are not destroying the earth. The poor people are not the industrious complex that's drilling in the earth and that are letting toxins all run rapid in the water. They did not cause the Gulf spill. So I think we need to be more definitive in identifying what man or what people are behind animals. And see, the Bible identifies actual people. And it's one thing to generalize and say man. Of course it's man. Who else is doing it? But we need to be able to identify the man of sin, or what the scriptures call the man of perdition, who's behind these ills and evils, and prepare ourselves to get away from such I don't know if you can call it people. We must separate ourselves in the spirit of the Most High and come under the God of the Hebrews, because all nations are complicit. When I say all nations, it's not just the industrial complex of the Western world. You have the Middle Easterns who have patterned themselves after ancient Babylon, after modern day Babylon, and now they have offshore oil tankers all in the Gulf of Mexico. So they are complicit and sold their souls for money. Then you have the Asian people who have followed Babylon and this industrial complex and had oil spills and all types of testings on people, destroying the waters. They are complicit when it comes to the destruction of the Most High's creation. So what I would like to do is say, yes, mankind is responsible for the ills of the earth, but we need to start putting a name to these mankind. We need to start pointing out who specifically is the people behind this industrial destruction of our earth.
Well, the thing is, if we as people that are living in the earth, basically, if we're going to point fingers on the leaders, or we're going to point fingers on rich people, let's say Arabs, or let's say Asians, or whoever that people might say are responsible for these, atrocities, like you know, Arab drilling oil from the Gulf and things like this. Well, if we're going to look at that sense, then if the people are actually using, if they're actually using oil, which it's beneficial for, you know, the livelihood of men, as I said before, which we ourselves, we are in need of this thing, because there's nothing whatsoever that we're using now today which is not functioning from these things. We're in a studio which is powered by electricity, and to get here to the studio we have to drive a car, and to drive a car we have to drive in a road that is made by tarmac. So basically all these things are substances which is made from the oil. But the fact is you get leaders which are corrupt. And I'm not saying that, you know, when you say point fingers and people, because obviously you do get corrupted people, which are people way up top. You know what I mean? So these people are the ones who are responsible mostly because of being greedy. And when you cut corners with a lot of things, like, let's say, you know, with issues like, you've got like health and safety, you've got like things which cost money, like a lot of the oil spill and a lot of things that could have been prevented. You know, so it's you know, it's basically, it's down to everyone really, because we are also using it. So how can we escape in such a sense when you say pull ourselves back and go to worshiping the Most High? Do we have to stay away from these things which is beneficial to us?
Well, what I'm seeing is, I'm seeing, all due respect to you, brother, I'm seeing two separate understandings. From one standpoint, you're saying that man is complicit in the destruction of the earth. And then in the other vein, you're saying, well, we need those things, so we should just help destroy the earth. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that what we can do, we can prevent these things. Because if for instance, if there is a guideline, you know, if you get something, how to use it. Let's say water, for instance, that pumps through the taps, which is powered by a generator, which uses the oil. If we, as the human beings, if we abuse the thing, which if we get the water, we use it for the necessity, like having a bath, drinking it. If we don't use it in a way of wasting, of consuming too much, you know what I mean? So it is like we are the ones who are responsible for also causing this destruction. So I'm saying to you, if we're going to point fingers on people, then what about us? My intention is not to say we're going to destroy, we want to destroy the earth, but we want to come to a conclusion and, you know, find a solution.
Well, the solution is first getting to the point of the problem. And we cannot get to the point of the problem unless we identify the agenda of the powers that are established within the earth. We have to realize the destruction of the earth is tied to the destruction of God's people. And we must identify the culprits. Let me read something here. Okay, because it's time, because let me tell you, we can rehash these radio shows and just give our opinion until Armageddon. But our opinion won't mean anything